Hi, I'm Michelle Brown, instructional coach at Blue Jacket Flint Elementary School. Today we're going to take a look at some things that you can do in GarageBand. Today we're going to take a look at how you can use GarageBand on the iPad to help students improve their fluency rate. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you've got the most updated version here. And then once you're in GarageBand, you may have to scroll through some screens if you haven't been in there before, but you want to get to the place where you can add a new file. So you're just going to touch the plus in the upper right hand corner there. And then at the top of the screen, you may have something that looks like this or this, depending on where you landed. You want to be on the tracks portion, and then you may start here or somewhere else, but where you want to end up is on the audio recorder. So you're going to come into the audio recorder and touch voice there. And basically the idea here is that we're going to have students record a cold read at the beginning of the week. They're going to be able to visually see what that looks like. And then after they've practiced during the week, when they're warmed up and they've worked on these fluency skills at the end of the week, they can come back in and record another read, and they should visually be able to see the difference. So the very first thing that you want to do is to make sure you're on studio here and not on fun, although in just a minute I'm going to show you the fun part because that's kind of a neat thing to do for fluency too. But make sure you're on studio up here, and then let's change this to the narrator, although if you didn't do that it wouldn't be a big deal. And then the next thing you want to do that's very important is up in the right hand corner here there's a little plus sign, little tiny one near the 8. You want to touch that and change that from 8 bars to automatic. Otherwise it will cut off their recording after 8 bars, which can be kind of frustrating for kids. So pretty much all you have to do now, you've got it set up and ready to go. So they are going to touch the record button and begin their reading. You can turn the metronome off too if they don't want to hear that going. Although if you're doing poetry, you might want to just slow it down and have them use that. At any rate, they're going to continue their reading through their passage until they're finished with whatever it is they're reading for however long it takes, and then press the stop button. So now they've got an audio file, and the way that you see what it looks like is up in the left-hand corner. There are 3 bars there. There's some horizontal bars that are 3 blocks over. So you're going to touch those and open that up, and now the student can see an audio file of their recording. So that will just stay in there during the week until they've practiced and they've gotten warm and they've worked on whatever skill it is they're working on. And now they've come to the end of the week and they're going to add another file. Down in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a plus sign. You're going to go ahead and tap that, and that's going to take them back in to create that second file. And then you're going to go in the same way back into voice. You can change this if you'd like to, back to narrator. Each time they come in, it's important to have them go ahead and click that little plus, the tiny one near the 8 up there, and get in the habit of changing and checking that to make sure it's on automatic each time. So once you have that set to automatic, there is another step you need to do on the second read, and that is that little volume control slide that you just saw me moving. You need to turn it all the way down. If you don't turn it all the way down, students will hear their voice playing back what they read the first time when they try to record the second time. You can imagine that would be kind of difficult and a little challenging. So then they can go ahead and click record to record their second read, and they'll go ahead and read through that passage. Hopefully they're a little more fluent this time and that they may be able to read just a little bit faster if that was your goal. They'll stop the recording, head on back over to the tracks there, and now they can see and compare their first read to their second read. So hopefully it will be a good visual for them to kind of mark how long it took me the first time and how long it took me the second time. Each time they do this, you could also have them listen back to the file and count errors as they hear them happening so that they can monitor their own reading. So another really fun thing you can do to spice up your reading block is have kids record in the audio recorder using, again I'm going to change this to narrator, but if you come into the fun section here and just click OK to get rid of that, you've got some voice choices here. So if kids want to record kind of in a fun way, they could choose one that they want to do here. Maybe I will do a chipmunk, and I might record a passage, and so I'm just going to click the record button. First, you always want to make sure they click that plus sign and change that to automatic, because if you don't, again, it will cut them off. So that's something they should get in the habit of doing if they're using this particular app. But then they would just click record and record their voice like normal. I would not, could not, in a tree, not in a car, you let me be. I do not like them in a box, I do not like them with a fox. And then when they play this back, they can listen to themselves with whatever fun voice it is that they chose.
I would not, could not, in a tree, not in a car, you let me be. I do not like them in a box, I do not like them with a fox.
So you can see that this would easily be a great way to get kids to engage and get excited about their reading. You can also export these audio files, and kids could create a certain voice and include it in an iMovie or something like that.